let's talk about Rudy Gobert. All right, let's talk about Rudy Gobert. Um, he had I found this interesting article about Rudy Gobert. Check out the music entertainment playlist. I haven't seen anybody speak on this. I know I sent this to Kobe in town. Go check out the Brother Tom Business channel. Do a good video chance over it. I don't know if he spoke on this, but let's talk about this, man. Right? I found this interesting. Need another video to put up for the day or put up, for the future. I got some time to build the queue and all that. So Rudy Gobert reflects on family members' racism towards him as a child. We don't want that baby in our house. And um, check out the music entertainment playlist. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Um, and check out the NBA Talk playlist. Even though Rudy Gobert considers it a painful memory, the Timberwolves big man believes it is a story he needs to share. And this may be warning a lot of y'all brothers and sisters about the other side of interracial dating. You'd be surprised. You know, people who raise this and raise their children not to like a particular people, usually they gonna run off to go do that, to go marry and be with them type of people. I think it's just the intrigue, especially with women. You get that a lot with women. You tell women, "Oh, don't do this." They just go keep their nature is to do it. So it says Minnesota star Rudy Gobert opened up in an essay form for the Players Tribune about experienced racism as a baby from close family members. Three-time NBA Defensive Player of the Year recipient details conversation between his mother and the members of her side of the family who did not welcome young Rudy Gobert this big Christmas dinner at a certain person's house. He said it's a painful memory, but one that I need to share. Gobert wrote in a piece about a watershed moment which occurred in his home of his country of France. Gobert's mother, who was white, and met his father, who was black. What I tell you, when it's usually women that go off and do these things. Go look at that movie that Jonah Hill had with Lauren London. When people said they didn't have no chemistry in that movie, go look at that movie. Go look at that movie. I had enough. Hey, look, check this out. I was talking to this chick, whatever, a while ago, and she was, apparently she was raised on some big pro black shit. And she told me, I'm telling you, if you ask the right questions or you provide a safe zone, she basically told me that oh yeah, I dated a white guy I used to work with, and yeah, I asked girls, you ever dated a guy you work with or whatever, and just as a whatever, and she like, oh yeah, I did that before, and I dated this white guy, and her family didn't know about it. Her daddy and her mama and all of them was pro black and stuff, and she didn't tell them about that shit. You know what I mean? So it's usually the women that run off and really do that. And the guy, especially in the black community that do it, they just had traumatic experiences with black mothers and black women. You know what I'm saying? They just had traumatic experiences with them. You know, so yeah. They just have traumatic experiences with them. You know, and I'm gonna talk about that on probably on the Patreon on Free Game 89. So yeah, it's gonna be all one big Patreon, so y'all will know about it over here. Okay, so y'all be able to pick tiers, and y'all can pick both of them put together if you choose for a good price. So I ain't here to break y'all, but yeah, I can continue to tell y'all. Um, so that's why nobody really dives into the psychology of it. But if you push something hard on women, they tend to kind of want to they tend to kind of want to go on the other side just to see. I'm telling y'all, so that's why you can't put too much pressure. So the 31-year-old said certain relatives were adamant about that his mom would not be allowed into the home if she brought Rudy Gobert with her. We don't want that baby in our house, a family member allegedly told her. His mother chose Rudy over the family. Of course, that's her baby. She was devastated to go be a road. And obviously, I think she spent Christmas with me instead. She told them, if that's the way you think, you're not going to see me anymore. Not Christmas, not ever. I don't want anything to do with you. And she knew her family was like before she went to go over to the black people. They didn't condition her. They conditioned her. They conditioned her. They conditioned her, but like I tell you, you can drill them, you know, um, you can truly drill them to be away. Women are just curious. And you tell them to do one thing, especially if you really radical about it and hardcore about it, you tell them to do one thing and they just want to do the opposite. I remember a girl was telling me her uncle gave her this, told her to mix this stuff together for her cold that she was Jamaican or whatever, right? And they birds for sure. I'm telling you, they birds. And she was Jamaican or whatever. And basically, she said that he told me just swallow it straight down, right? She said, I just wanted to just, he told me, don't wish it around my mouth. It's not just swallow it. She said, I just had to do the opposite. I had to swallow it. I didn't listen. They just naturally don't want to listen, bro. That's just female nature, bro, across the board. So once you tell them, hey, don't do this, they natural curiosity gonna want them to do the fucking opposite. I'm telling you, they it's gonna tell them to do the complete opposite. That's just the way they are. So if you push, oh, you hardcore this, just like I told you about that movie with Eddie Murphy, Jonah Hill, and Lauren London. You know what I'm saying? Just like I told y'all about that movie. Her daddy was this pro black guy, and she went out there and got a white guy. It's comedy movie, but that's a real thing all across the board. They got to know, and a lot of times they come over, they switch sides, and they like it. He said from that moment, Gobert mother became his protective provider motivation. The Timberwolves big man remembered being either 6 or 7 years old when he went to charity event at the store, was allowed to pick a toy he wanted for Christmas. That's when I started to realize, quote, my life then was like compared to other kids, and that's the feeling of happiness mixed with sadness, mixed with anger. As I was playing with my new toy, I remember thinking one day we won't have to worry about anything. He wrote. And people say Rudy Gobert is soft and all this stuff. He from France. They more compassionate and they more, kind of like, I don't want to say sexual. They are, but that's just different. When you kind of see why this type of stuff stick with affect with you, it affects you, bro. Sometimes instead of these dudes clowning this brother, man, they should actually kind of look into his background, bro. That shit hurt. And maybe that's the driving force he went to the NBA for. Before he became obsessed with basketball at the age of 12, Gobert had an iron belief, regardless of his future held for him, he was going to be successful. The following year, Rudy received the opportunity to attend basketball academy and would keep him away from his mother's on weekends, even though he had two older siblings were away at college. Rudy's mother implored him to pursue his dream at the time. All she told me was, go after your dream. It'll be fine. I'll be fine. His dream became reality less than a decade later. Gobert was selected in the first round of 2013 draft. We know the story. So he got a tight bond with his mother. I don't know, if his dad wasn't there or whatever happened to that situation. Didn't speak more about his dad, but you can tell, with all the crying about not getting on a whatever the all-star team, whatever the situation may be. You know what I'm saying? All that crying and all that, you seen that. That's because, maybe his father wasn't as there as much as possible. You know what I'm saying? Maybe his father wasn't there as much as possible. And you see the impact of the father being there, and maybe he had military duties. That balance allows his father to uh to check those emotions and be like, man up, don't worry about it. You know what I'm saying? So you need both. But hey, just a quick little video. Check out the NBA Talk playlist, music entertainment playlist. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Next subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit the link tree. Find me on Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Apple Podcasts, Amazon, Kick, Twitch, other YouTube channels. The Patreon to be on there about this weekend, so be on the alert for that. I'll do some real hardcore talks about sports on there as well too that I can't do on here. But hey, appreciate y'all. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Peace.